Welcome, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for us to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. We're gonna watch this movie again. I've watched this so many times, so I don't even. We're watching it again. We're watching it again. So tagline for this one is we got two, and I think the one we settled on for the top one though is Peckish Rogue meets other assholes. The other one is asshole learns assholes need love. They're not the best people. They're not great people. The Guardians aren't the best, but they're there, and so there you go. This was a 2014 movie directed by James Gunn. Just brought all these people together. Basically, a comic no one really knew all that well, and it's its own canon really, because it's nothing like the comics, and people really enjoyed it. I enjoy it a lot. It's a very good movie. I like it a lot. $230 million budget, made $773 million, so well done to them. Stanley cameo, do not remember. I remember Twos, because Twos is a really good cameo. Do not remember the cameo in one. I remember the deleted scene version, but that's it. Favorite scene is either... the opening's really good, but I don't know if it's my favorite. It's a good opening. I think my favorite scene's got to be the dance-off at the end, because it's so silly. It's just so dang silly. That one's pretty good. There's a lot of good moments, though. Like, the prison... Yeah, the prison, when they're planning everything and then Groot does what Groot does. That's a really good scene. There's just a lot of good moments. A lot of good moments in there. Winter Soldier is a very good, serious movie. Very good storytelling, very good action. It's really good. And then you have, right after it, following it, is Guardians of the Galaxy, which is good action, very funny, pretty witty. It's just, they're very different, but they're both very good movies, and they're going to be somewhere up on the list. But, so it's hard to compare some of these movies, because everyone says these movies are the same, which there are skeleton parts to these movies that are the same, but at the same time, watch an action movie of any kind and you have the exact same skeleton work. It's just how these movies are. That's how action movies work. It's a formula that's been going on for 20, 30, 40 years. It's not just Marvel. The difference is Marvel's just well known at this point, and they got all the CG money, so they are very prominent. I like these movies. They're all very different. They're all very fun, so it's hard to compare them one to one, but at the end of the day, we're going to have a list anyway. Favorite Guardian? Jinx doesn't have one. She likes them all well enough. Well, my favorite is Gamora, because Gamora's awesome. She's pretty damn cool. She's a great fighter and everything. I like her better than comic book Gamora. Definitely like her better than comic book Gamora. Comic book Gamora is just this fighting chick. That's really all she is. She just fights. That's less interesting to me. So, that's everything. Let's watch the movie. Let's enjoy the movie. I want to hear what y'all think after the movie. Just fun. I like it a lot. So, let's go. And we're done. Okay, so, still love it. It's a good movie. Like this movie a lot. Still like it a lot. It's a good movie. Stan Lee's scene. Yeah, I realized what it was, like, a minute before. He's just one of the people getting scanned by, Rocket Raccoon. Yep, that's it. And then 2, he's gonna be a watcher, so... Oh, real quick, I meant to mention before. So, James Gunn, he wrote this movie, he writes 2, and he also writes the 3rd movie eventually. That's going to happen eventually. Guess what else James Gunn wrote? He wrote Scooby-Doo 1 and 2. So, he wrote those, and he wrote this. He wrote those. Not forget, in case you thought 1 was great, let's not forget 2 had Scrappy-Doo, and that movie was terrible. So was the first one. And then he wrote these. Like, oh man, just it's an inspiring story if you can make complete crap and then make something really great eventually in your life. So there you go. Good job, James Gunn. Good job. Okay, so good movie. It's a really good movie. Like it a lot. I like the way they use the soundtrack. I like that it's kind of organic because it's only whenever the music's being played in the world. It's not like it's just gets played, which is so interesting how they do that. And just good. Jinx want to talk about Ronan and I called him Beardsley. The guy Korath. So Ronan and Korath. It's interesting because we of course see them in Captain Marvel. And if you have not seen Captain Marvel, you just learned that they're in Captain Marvel. Well, it's because they deal with Kree in Captain Marvel, so these guys are Kree. Also, just Korath is Kree. Like, we did not get that from this. We got that he was a servant of Ronan in this movie, but did not get that he was Kree himself. And then he's like, yeah, he's Kree. I am curious whether or not we're gonna get that information in like Captain Marvel 2, or we never get that information. But we will probably see Ronan in Captain Marvel 2. And, well, Ronan, like, we see how Ronan's gonna die, which is this movie where he just gets destroyed by the Power Stone. I'm curious why he was able to handle the Power Stone, right? Like, he's just very zealous. He's just, because he's so determined it doesn't kill him, I guess. It's the best I got. And also, the Collector. The Collector could have had 2 of the Infinity Stones. Which, I wonder how things would have gone if he did have it. Then would Thanos just hit the Collector first? Then he'd have two stones at the start, or what? And also, yeah, the Nova Corps getting just... Thanos is too powerful, so even with the Nova Corps was there, he would have probably still run them all over for the Power Stone. What's interesting with that is just mentioning Infinity War. The reason why they didn't show that him take out Nova for the stone is because they just didn't need to spend the money on that. Was their thing? You're like, it's going to happen. We don't need to spend the money. We can spend that money on the Wakanda stuff. That would have been cool, but who's there that you care about, really, besides Glenn Close and John C. Reilly? Like, who do you care besides those two? Nobody. That's who. One quick thing is Groot. When Groot dies, until Infinity War, I thought it was Groot. It was just original Groot the whole time. But this is actually, the baby Groot at the end is Groot's son. It's not Groot himself. Which is just interesting. I don't remember if I learned that in the second movie, that it's not the same guy. It's not that he's just going through adolescence again, that it's actually the child of Groot. But in the third movie, in Infinity War, I knew it was him. I mean, it's his kid. There's just so many good scenes in this movie. There's a lot of scenes where I'm just laughing. I've watched this movie maybe 20 plus times now, just being as a modest guess. I've watched this movie a lot, and I'm still enjoying it a lot, and I'm happy about it. It's just such a solid, good movie. The action's good, the comedy's good. There's those low, kind of more emotional points, and they're not bad. And it's just a fun movie. It's a really, really fun movie, and I liked it a lot. I think just seeing it again, my favorite scene, besides the dance scene, which I still laugh so much at, is the battery in the prison. He's like, okay, we gotta do all these things, and we get the battery last. And then Groot just grabs, he's like, oh, we just do everything now. Everything going on there in the prison's great. Just when they're first fighting each other, that's pretty fun. Just because it's 3 parties going on here, and Gamora just destroys Groot, and Groot's capturing them with his leaves, and then Quill being very crafty in that fight. Like, there's a lot of, what I like is they're very crafty and scrappy in just a lot of the fights. And it's not just Quill, but also Rocket and them, where they're using just different items and weapons to deal with their situations, which is just pretty cool. Well, minus, I guess, Drax. Drax just uses a lot of brute strength. It's fun seeing him be brute strengthy, though. And it's just a fun movie. I like it a lot. So let's just get to the ranks, because I could just gush about this movie a lot. I really enjoyed it. So, I messed up and forgot to mention the rankings during Winter Soldier, apparently. So, Winter Soldier, right under Avengers for me, so that was number 2. For Jinx, Winter Soldier is above Avengers, so it's her number 1. So for me, I know I already said this before, it's hard to make these comparisons. It really is. I gotta put Guardians over Winter Soldier. The question is it better than Avengers 1? Debating, and while I debate, what's Jinx's pick? Jinx puts it 3rd under Avengers. I'm gonna put it at 2nd under Avengers, so both of us put it under Avengers. But for her, it's at 3rd. For me, it's at 2nd, with Avengers still at number 1. When Infinity War happens, it's going to be above Avengers. I don't know what else is going to be above Avengers, though. Like, Avengers, I just really enjoy Avengers as well. But, still a lot more movies to go. So let's see, what's next after Guardians of the Galaxy? After Guardians of the Galaxy, it is... Oh, Avengers. Age of Ultron's next. A lot of people didn't like this one. I don't know why. I enjoyed it a lot. I really liked it. Probably because I'm a big fan of James Spader, he's a pretty good actor, and he makes Ultron his own, and he makes Ultron fun. I also really liked Ant-Man, so we'll see where that measures up. And I don't remember what the order of the next phase is. Like, I don't remember it's Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. I know Black Panther is right before Infinity War. I think Thor 3's before Black Panther. Ant-Man's after Infinity War. I don't remember where these movies where they go, besides Captain Marvel was the most recent one. But we got a lot of movies coming up still before we get to Endgame. But next up, Avengers Age of Ultron. I liked it. Same thing for Ant-Man, which comes after that, but we'll see where they measure up and how much I remember. Remember random things of each. But that'll be when we get to those movies. So let me know what you thought of Guardians of the Galaxy. Where does it measure up for you on the list as well? Definitely interested in that. But that right there is the video. I have fun talking. Hope you have fun watching and listening. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.